Namaste, angels. I'm going to try to do a quick reading from the perspective of the divine masculine, or looking into his life using some new cards that I got. So I tend not to buy myself cards. As a matter of fact, I can't remember the last time or if I ever bought myself cards. All my cards come from either my daughters bought them or my clients and viewers bought them. So these are new ones from my daughters. It is before the tarot, between the tarot, and after the tarot. And so I figured I would use these I haven't read the books yet. Usually I like to at least go through the books and see what the author intended them to mean, or what traditional tarot means in their regard. But I didn't do that. It's going to be fully intuitive and what it looks like based on the card. We're starting with this Queen of Wands. Well, I think we're starting with a little story here. So this Queen of Wands, and she's sitting atop the Lovers. I'll show you what the Lovers looks like in the before the tarot deck in a second. So this is, again, the before the tarot deck, and this is how the Queen of Wands looks in that deck. She looks very, very happy. Even though, like, there's nobody else, at least, known to us in the room with her or anything. She's alone, but she's got a huge smile on her face. She's got her pet cat there. There's flowers, growing around her. She's very happy. And she may be happy because of a relationship that she's in. We got the Lovers, like I said, immediately behind her. A Gemini and or Virgo may be involved, but they don't have to be. And she may be a fire sign, right? An Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes. So next to her in the traditional tarot is the Knight of Swords. And this Knight of Swords tends to be about decisions, right? Either a decision we have to make, or one that we're waiting, or both. Like we're waiting to hear some sort of news or get a decision from someone else so that we know what our next move should be. We know what action we should take. And this is the fastest knight in all of the tarot, right? He takes off and he heads towards, what it is he wants, he's into. We can ignore, gender or anything here. I mean, this is a male, so I'm going to say he, but it doesn't mean that it's actually a he. Just as I did with her, I said she. She, her, I'm using, but it's not necessarily a woman. It could be anybody. And anyway, this may be that Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, or someone like into those traits or attributes that, was showing up with the Lovers, right? I said it might be a Gemini. And in terms of the fire sign, immediately behind this air sign, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So the Wheel of Fortune is representative of the planet Jupiter, ruler of the sign of Sagittarius. Again, that may be who the Queen of Wands is. Maybe she's a Sagittarius. There's some conflict back here. And there's potentially a Virgo having to think about, maybe that's who's making the decision. So again, like I said, the Lovers could very well be a Gemini or a Virgo. Maybe that's who the Hermit is as well. It's the same person. Then we have between the tarot, the Three of Swords. This Three of Swords doesn't look very painful. It looks like this person is sitting alone thinking about something. And I think that this is what I came up with, or what came to me right away. And he's got the Page of Coins behind him. This guy's more focused probably on his work than anything else. With the Page of Coins behind him, and he may again be an actual earth sign, maybe particularly a Virgo, because we've seen a lot of that show up already, but possibly a Taurus or Capricorn as well. He's probably works very hard into his work. But at the same time, he may have another love interest. With the Three of Swords, the threes are often about parties of three, or what I like to call parties of three. So he may have another love interest, and he may be trying to decide between this Queen of Wands and this other person, right? I think he's kind of already decided, honestly, from what I'm getting, like I said, intuitively from the cards. He's already decided, but because this woman is so happy, and so, she's probably been very kind and everything, and, she's a good person, a nice person overall. He doesn't want to, like, disappoint her, hurt her, and so that's why he's sitting there thinking like this, like, how can I, choose? How can I make up my mind as to what I'm supposed to do? And that's why he buries himself in his work, because he's not really happy with her, and he wants to go to this third person, but he doesn't want to, like, disappoint her, let her down, hurt her feelings either. And so that's why he's here in between the tarot. Okay, then we move on to the King of Pentacles. And this King of Pentacles in the After the Tarot deck is, his face doesn't look very happy at all. And he's got this bull here with him. I think that he's realizing that his stubbornness and maybe not making a decision, like inaction is a decision, right? So if he was already with this Queen of Wands and he didn't take the action to break things off with her, if he was interested in someone else, that was the inaction, that was his stubbornness. I think he's regretting it. You know, he's looking down. He's got all his money and all his stuff around him, probably a result of all the hard work that he's done. But what does it mean? He's not happy. He doesn't have the person he's with. And sure enough, what I didn't know is right behind him is the Five of Wands, right? This is after the tarot. So this is after the conflict. Everybody's just sitting around saying, like, what the fuck was even the purpose, right? What was even the point? Now we're just all, worn and upset for what? For nothing. Behind that, again, he's holding on to something that I think he's not really happy with, which is this Queen of Wands, doesn't really want. And now he's like, look at his face. Like, was it worth it? Because there's a death, there's an ending. He's the Grim Reaper. And there's an ending to what, maybe he would have gotten had he let go of this. He needed to let go of something in order to have a new start, right? With death, there's an ending and there's a new start. But he's holding on and he's dying. So there's no new start. Now, when I picked up this deck to, put it down, to move it, I saw that there was yet another King of Pentacles, and this one's in reverse. So we have a King of Pentacles in the After the Tarot, and we have a King of Pentacles in the Before the Tarot that is reverse. And Before the Tarot, look, he looks really stern and stubborn, and like he's got everything. Like he runs the world. He's in charge. And maybe that's why he sort of felt like he doesn't have to make a decision, or he doesn't have to choose, or everybody should come to him, or things should be easy because, he's the shit. And he looks like he's annoyed that didn't happen, especially with it in reverse. And I think that's how he got led to this situation. So anyway, that's the beginning story, or what was sticking out to me. I'm going to see what else we can tell. With the rest of the cards, I'm just going to, pull one from the top of each deck to get some answers to a couple of questions. Like I said, with regard specifically to the Divine Masculine, whether he is indeed a male and or not. Okay. So Knight of Swords in reverse from the Before the Tarot deck here. Now taking this Knight of Swords and this deck and giving it another little shuffle, this time in front of you guys. And a few cuts. Devil. It's a pretty card. Like I said, I looked through them quickly, separated them, pulled them apart like you do when you get new decks. Did a little cleansing over them to make sure anything that they may have traveled with was off. But I didn't really, look at the cards, and I didn't read the book yet. We got the Nine of Swords here. And this is, like I said, this is the deck called Between the Tarot. So they also have like the 2 cards listed here. Like, so this says, here it says 9 of Swords. And here it says 10 of Swords. And then they're saying, like, this is what the 9 of Swords would look like between those 2 energies. Ooh, open right up to the Ace of Cups there. Again, this is the after the tarot deck. I feel like I probably shouldn't do any reversals since I'm not really familiar with these decks yet. Another Knight of Swords. So this energy is heavy. Started with the Knight of Swords in the regular traditional tarot deck. We ended up with the Knight of Swords in the before the tarot deck. Again, this is the after the tarot deck. I just opened the Knight of Swords again. Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. And he did not go away. He's there. And the Lovers. So I got rid of the Knight of Swords, but this could still be him. He could be a Gemini. And behind him, this is the after the tarot deck. Look at the 7 of Wands in the after the tarot deck. In the traditional tarot, the 7 of Wands is you like defending yourself. This is an all-out brawl here. It is followed by the Sun, though. So I would imagine that is victory. So some of us may have to go through a full fight for what we want, for our relationships. For love. All right, let's do it. I think that one of the reasons I was pushed to do this, or guided to do this, was because of, oh look, the Ace of Pentacles just fell away. You know, today was the Takeoff funeral. I didn't watch it or anything. I don't even know if it was televised, but I did see like some news of it come up on my TV and my phone. And y'all know that I've spoken about my ex a few times that was murdered early in the month. I've always been that person that's, you know, talked about live in the moment, live for now, be present. You know, I've been that reader that's been saying that for years. But, you know, more than ever, I really would like you guys to not give so many fucks. Seriously. I just want you to be fuckless. And live for now. And do what you want. Not sit around waiting for anybody. Yes, if it's meant to be, it's going to be. And you should be with somebody. But in the meantime, I'm not telling you to go out looking for someone. But if the universe sends somebody to you and you click, I'm suggesting, because people can do whatever they want, I'm suggesting you do not decline. You give people a chance. You give other relationships a chance. Understanding that you believe that there's one for what you're meant. If it's not happening now, there's no movement there, I just don't believe that you're meant to spend your life sitting around waiting for somebody else's free will choices to dictate what happens to you. Because we are really here 1 second and gone the next. It really can be that, you know, quick. You have plans, and your plans for the day do not matter. If the universe, if God, you know, whatever you believe in decides to take you out of here, your plans don't matter. So why are you planning for 20, 30 years down the line when you're going to be with somebody finally, when they're going to wake up, when you're living right now? You have an opportunity to live right now. So with that, I'm going to get off my soapbox. And our first question, I think, should be what the Divine Masculine has to tell us or wants to tell us about his life, his situation specifically. So it was that Ace of Pentacles. So I don't know if I should use this one, because this one fell away. You think we should use this one, or this should be like an extra card, like a bonus? I think it should be a bonus. All right, so we got an Ace of Pentacles. I'll put it here. Is that in the frame? Let's make sure everything's in the frame. All right, so another one from before the tarot. We got the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. I said I didn't want to do it in reversals. Let's put her upright. What else does he want to tell us? Oh, he wants to tell us stuff in reverse, though, so I don't know how I'm going to be able to fight it. I just don't want this to go on forever, and it can wait when I'm explaining what reversals mean. Just at least from the standpoint of traditional tarot, sometimes it can make it longer. Anyway, Eight of Swords in reverse is actually a positive card. Oh, King of Cups. King of Cups, and maybe involving a baby. And Two of Pentacles. So, based on the Ace of Pentacles, I think they all want to tell all the Divine Feminine that there is an opportunity for a really, really abundant new beginning. At least for them, right, in their life. I said, what do they want to tell us about their life? Really, really great opportunity for some sort of new beginning. Now, this Queen of Pentacles was in reverse. So if I just take this separate from the Ace of Pentacles and consider it in reverse, it's making me feel like some sort of relationship that he had going is maybe on its head or possibly has ended. And he may have felt chained to that relationship. Remember, when I turn over this deck, this Devil here. Okay, the Devil is about feeling chained to something or being full of fear about a situation or a thing. There's that Knight of Swords again, and the Wheel of Fortune. So I just think it's interesting that we have the Devil there, which could represent the sign of Capricorn. That may be what some of this Earth energy, rather, is about. Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. We got another Queen of Pentacles here. But with the Eight of Swords in reverse, the Eight of Swords upright, although minor arcana, is very similar to the Devil in terms of feeling trapped, feeling like you have no way out, you have no options, and maybe being full of fear and anxiety about a situation, just feeling stuck, not knowing, what to do, where to turn, to whom to turn, all of that. Within reverse, it's sort of realizing you can slip your way out of this, right? You can figure out a way, and you're sort of ready to do that. So for some, I think there was in some sort of committed relationship, maybe long-term, maybe like it could be years in this relationship, and just really not being happy. I guess sort of what I was seeing in the beginning, not being happy, feeling stuck, and either that relationship has come to an end or they're wanting to end it. But for some, there was a baby, or there's something, if it's not an actual baby, there's something between the two of them that maybe they birthed together. Maybe their home with the Queen of Pentacles could be about home or something that you don't know about, that he needs to tell you about. Also, this situation with the King of Cups being here could involve an actual water sign, Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, or someone likened to those traits or attributes. This is somebody, he's upright, so his emotions are balanced. He doesn't always share. Maybe that's what he's afraid to do. Again, I think I'm getting like he's got something to tell you. And again, it could be about this baby or what the deal is between him and this woman or this other person that you're unaware of. Yeah, because when they have the King of Cups, they have their emotions in check, in order, and they understand them, but they don't always share that information with somebody else. And then here with the Two of Pentacles, we do have, look, there looks like a family here, and that may be one of his choices, a family or a situation, again, with this Queen of Pentacles type person, home. Or, he could choose something else. So he looks like he's in a position where he's deciding what he wants. He wants this, or maybe he wants to work, or maybe he wants to be single, or maybe he wants you. There's something else out there on the horizon. Like, this ship is already here. It's already come in. There's one out there that he could put some effort into. He's deciding. It's about an earthly decision that he has to make. And or that he's recently made. I think he's just recently become sort of able, found a way to, you know, to decide, right? To even consider making a decision about what he's going to do next, what he really wants, because he just felt stuck previously. And probably because of, again, he created something with somebody else, is what it looks like. And for some, again, it's going to be actual child and or children, family. And so he felt like, there's no coming back from this. Look what I've done. I've made I've created this life with this other divine feminine. So I have no options. And then he's realizing now that that's not necessarily correct. What does he want you to know about, or what does the divine masculine want us to know, divine feminine, about his feelings about us? Emperor. This emperor is standing up. So for me, it's like, I'm going to take a stand. I want you to know I'm going to take a stand. Or stand up for you. I'll defend you. Of course, again, the emperor is often, you know, a married man or a divorcee. So this could be somebody who was involved. I'm putting him here atop the Queen of Pentacles in reverse now. You know, a man who's lived, might be older. He does provide some sort of stability and stuff, but he can often be like stubborn. So right now, it looks like this is the before the tarot deck. So he's standing and he looks a little bit more gentle, like a, you know, the gentle giant. He's here holding a lamb. Later on in the tarot, once he becomes seated, he seems like he's sort of, you know, like, I'm not moving. I'm not going to budge. Right now, he looks like he's ready to make some moves. What else? Six of Wands in reverse. So he sees an opportunity for success between you, or he sees something really successful and beautiful that could happen between you when he looks in his mind's eye, but he doesn't know how to get there. And so it makes sense here atop this Eight of Swords, which is also in reverse. It's like, okay, I'm not afraid to try to figure this out anymore, but I still don't have the answers. I still haven't quite figured it out. Like, I know what I want, I know what I see in my mind's eye, but how do I get there? How do I reach that victory? What else? The World. The World, and here's these two people, and it looks like one is sort of trying to show the other the light, the way. And I'm getting, I think it's from Aladdin, because I started to hear that song, I Can Show You the World. Oh, A Whole New World, right, is the song. But I guess the line popped into my head, I can show you the world. And I think this is a boy and a girl. And he's got his stick. People used to do this when they were like running away. So I think, again, he's like leaving a situation and ready to start a new one. And it's like, come with me, I can show you the way. I want to show you the way. And here's an offer. On top of the decision that had to be made, here's an offer. So what do I want with regard to you? This is what I see. I see myself offering you something. This Ace of Pentacles. What action, if any, will he actually take with regard to what he sees there? Well, this looks like a clear decision. This is making a clear decision. Here, he was sort of just letting life take him. Yeah, I'm miserable. Yeah, I'm not happy in this other situation. But whatever happens, happens. I'm just going to, stay here and be in this with my eyes closed, my eyes covered. Now he's realizing he's the one that was self-sabotaging. He's the one that covered his own eyes. So, again, there's a decision there to take action. Temperance is another very positive card in terms of taking some sort of action. This is compromise, collaboration, working together. You fill your, I fill your cup, fill mine, we pour into each other. It doesn't matter our differences from the past. We can look beyond those. So maybe that will help them to figure out how to get to this victory. Just being willing to compromise and to move toward each other. Meet in the middle somewhere. What else? They're the Knight of Swords in reverse here. Knight of Swords in reverse. And that's in between the Queen of Swords and the Knight. Who are these people? I think he's saying he's not going to listen to, like, the outside people anymore. Like, who the hell are all these people? Like, I'll do this myself. I need to do this myself. This is my situation. And these other people don't matter anymore. And these could be friends, family members. This could be anybody who's been, not necessarily in an intentionally harmful way, but been in his ear and, sort of telling him how to live his life. And again, life is short. We can't afford to listen to other people on, how to live it if what they're telling us to do doesn't make us happy. And there is a Two of Wands, which is the twin flame or divine, counterpart, divine union, soulmate card of the tarot. And there's the World. I can show you the World. Why is it in reverse, though, with regard to the action he wants to take? World. I can show you the World. I think it has to do with these people. Giving you the world and showing you the world is different from feeling like you're carrying the weight of the world and responsible for a bunch of other people or their thoughts about you, their feelings about you. In reverse, it just seems more effortless. I don't know if you guys are seeing the same thing as I am. In reverse, it looks like they don't have to hold on to the world as tightly, right? And that's the message I'm getting from that. It's about these people. So, yeah, watch out for people. Watch out for people. I know this doesn't sound right. But these other people in our lives that have been, I don't know, I've been seeing it a lot lately. I think I've always seen it a lot in my readings, like other people that are involved. But I think more and more, and maybe this has to do with moving out of like Pisces into Aquarius, which is more so about freedom and doing your own thing and whatever. More and more, I think people are waking up to the fact that, you don't have to live as your mother or father or friends or society or whatever would have you. There's ways to, in a healthy way, in a legal way, do what you want. Do what you want and not feel bad about it, not feel guilty about it. So I think that's what it is. And it's maybe people don't want this couple together. I mean, that tends to be the trend with, divine counterparts or unions. There's just a lot at odds against them. A lot of different entities throwing up obstacles to prevent them from coming together. Because if you go all the way back into like the biblical meanings about it and thoughts about it, it's about spiritual warfare. So of course, there's a group of people that don't want us to win, whether they realize it or not. I mean, subconsciously, people could be working for the other side. You know what I mean? And I think that the people that put these thoughts into our heads about us having to live, one way or another, a particular way, are among those people who are trying to keep us together. So anyway, I'm getting this of that third party situation. This is probably not only about divine counterparts, but for many of you watching, will be, whoever watches, will be also about this third party situation. And that society would have you be with the person, the first person, the Queen of Wands, you know, and maybe because again, maybe you are traditionally married, or you have been in a relationship for a long time, or they are the mother of your child. And again, this doesn't have to be female, male. I'm just putting it this way. You can apply it how you know how it would apply to you, how it would resonate with you. But because of those things like that, traditionally you belong there, like with that person. And in order to be with who you really want to be, you may have to let somebody down. You may have to let your parents down. You have to let your friends down. You know, you may have to let society down, or your boss. You know, your job, whatever. Whoever is watching you, whose opinion you care about, you give a shit about. And again, I want you to stop giving so many fucks, honestly. But that's what I'm getting. So I guess to summarize it, they want to take action towards you. Even though you know, on paper aren't who maybe their world wouldn't have them be with. And maybe the way they were raised, their traditional ideologies and belief systems, they would not be with. They would typically fight to not be with. But they're feeling more and more, they're feeling like they can't do that anymore. They can't fight it. And they do want to take some sort of action towards you. So now I'll do my traditional spread, which I feel like I haven't done in a while. I normally do it with the moon reading, and I didn't do one with this last moon reading. So now I'll do my traditional spread from the perspective of the Divine Masculine. And being drawn back to the Ace of Pentacles, normally there's one hand handing it to you in the traditional Rider-Waite Tarot. There's two hands on it, and it's taking me back to that song, The Whole New World. It's like that part, let me share this whole new world with you. Here's the whole new world, the brand new opportunity with the Ace of Pentacles. And there's both hands on it. I think it's like a let me share this whole new world with you. So for both of them, it's going to be like a completely different, it's going to be a genuine new start, because what their beliefs and ideologies and experiences, life experiences, have otherwise taught them is not this. It's, you know, you marry somebody, you stay with them, you don't leave them, you don't get divorced, you don't devil, right? And it's probably, you don't deal with a married man or with somebody who's in a committed relationship, a long-term relationship, or, you know, if you have a child with somebody, you're stuck with them. And so it's this sort of, no, we realize that that's not true, and we're going to do our own thing, is new for both of them, and they're going to share it and start it together and sort of build their own thing. Wow, okay. I could have very well used one of those decks, but new deck. Switch of deck, change of deck again. So here we just happen to be starting with the Nine of Pentacles, opening to Death. Nine of Pentacles is somebody who is doing fine on their own. There was a female in the card. It might be the Divine Feminine. Doesn't have to be. There's another Emperor. Now opposite that, Nine of Pentacles. And an Ace of Wands. And we have Strength as the overall energy. So I apologize to those who don't want to hear about love. I'm just focusing on love. today, because I know for a lot of people they believe in today's like an 11:11 portal, so it is about divine unions and twin flames. I don't necessarily agree, but I respect everybody's you know feelings and sentiments about it. I don't necessarily agree because today technically it's an 11:11:6, which equals 10. Um, so it's not really. I'm a number weirdo, so that's it. Anyway, Divine Feminine. What is our card? 9 of Cups. So some sort of wish fulfillment coming to us, and with the arms folded, I'm getting like there's like an attitude about it. Like, oh, I knew I was going to get what I wanted anyway. And maybe that, that's not necessarily a negative thing. We do need to have some sort of level of confidence or whatever when we're manifesting stuff, like belief that it's actually going to come. So that's what I got there, feeling from that. The masculine as it relates to the feminine in this 9 of Cups. 7 of Swords in reverse. So I think that she's been wanting him to come back because 7 of Swords is often about an ex returning for me, but often when it's upright, I say like they're returning somebody's returning to your life, maybe an ex. I mean, in this case, I'm gonna figure it probably is, since this is more specifically love and divine union related than general. But when it's upright, I say like, oh well, like they haven't really changed, so they're coming back kind of like in the same way, which you may like. Some people be like, oh, you haven't changed a bit, I love that. Or like, damn, you haven't changed, like you're still, so in this case, with it in reverse, not only have they changed, but what specifically has changed that I'm getting is this person has maybe in the past had been somebody who was just a taker basically from you. Like you were the giver. I give and I give and I give, and they just walking away with my swords, right? And now what I'm getting now is this divine masculine in relation to this 9 of Cups, this divine feminine who's manifested him back into her reality. He's coming back, and he's not going to be the same. What has changed about him is he is willing to be a giver too. So it aligns with that previous spread, for lack of a better term, that I just did, where I was saying like wanting to come in with temperance and meeting halfway and compromise. Masculine as it relates to himself, we have 10 of Swords. 10 of Swords, but on the phone. He's been through some stuff. And some of it is self-inflicted, and then, but through all of it, it's like he's still more concerned with, even if he's hurt you, more concerned with like, well, what are you doing though? While he's laying here like this. And that may be what's caused him to change, and what brings about this 7 of Swords in reverse. Again, like, I owe her, and again, I'm using the him and her just because of divine feminine and masculine archetypes only, not gender. But I owe her some justice, some balance, some compromise, some fairness. I owe her, some 50-50 or 100-100 to meet her halfway. Masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole, we have Magician. So manifesting something new, something beginning. Magician is the first card, so it's number 1, which again, today is actually a 1, a 10 or a 1, not an 11-11, the way that I see it. And we got this Magician here, so there's all kinds of fresh new energy, upright, and it's like, again, just the confidence of knowing there's a confidence here that shows like I know I can bring about what it is I want. So that is the masculine as it relates to the union or connection as a whole. Overall, what is the energy? 4 of Cups. So it's like it's there for the taking. Opportunity is there for the taking, for those who are willing to use their free will choice to go get it. Does this person have a phone too? Now, they've put the phone down in this picture. The phone's on the ground. The arms are folded again. Arms are folded. I mean, it's like body language, just a very like standoffish kind of body language. I'm gonna, take my stuff and go home. But if you open your eyes and maybe your arms, you'll see that there's opportunity around you. And again, it'll be up to you to decide whether or not you're going to use the free will choice to take it. What energy the masculine would have the feminine give to the union connection if it were up to him? That's Six of Wands, and again, it's in reverse. So maybe he wants her to like help him figure out how they get to this, how they get to, you know, the happiness that they both want. I need you to show me how to get there. Like, I can show you the world. I think that's the theme here of this one. What energy he himself is showing up with. And it's Queen of Wands. So, ready to work, ready to put in the effort, confidence, you know, good intentions, passion. What energy the masculine, the universe rather, or God, would have both the masculine and feminine show up with, and the universe actually, or God, wants to actually help us to achieve, is justice in reverse. Justice in reverse with regard to relationships actually isn't horrible, though. When you draw it, and you're looking at the situation, the love situation, from a standpoint of being single, it can mean that you have been putting, you know, like maybe obstacles and things in front of yourself. And like you have to figure out how you can make yourself more accessible to love. So that aligns with this. If it's about long-term commitment relationships, it can be about them coming to an end. And like I said, in the other spreads and in the other cards that we've looked at, it seems that one or both, and I think if it's just one, likely the divine masculine, just based on the cards, because they were masculine presenting or male presenting, is in a long-term relationship or has been in a long-term relationship, maybe even a marriage, and wants out or is in the process of getting out of that relationship. So I did long-term relationship and I did single. Okay. And for the others of us who maybe, or others of us, others among us, who don't feel like they necessarily fit into one or the other of those choices because it's just about this divine partnership that they're in. So it's not really a commitment. They can't really call it a long-term commitment, but they don't really consider themselves single either because they got this thing going on. It can be about the imbalance and maybe feeling as if we've been wronged. And the other person may not see it that way. So what the universe or God would want to help us with in that case is maybe seeing the other person's perspective and being able to compromise and being able to not just one person be the giver, but both are giving, both are filling each other's cups, again, like the temperance, or like it suggests the masculine wants to do with this Seven of Swords in reverse here. So for those who are, again, in a situation where they're getting a divorce, I mean, I guess both could apply. You could have this divine union going on, and you're in the long-term relationship that you're wanting to end or in the process of ending. So the universe or God wants to help you with that as well. Like come to the point where you can actually bringing about an end to that relationship so you can start something new. And if you are considering yourself single, like you haven't met the divine partner or anybody yet, you're just on your own, then what is it that you may be putting in front of you, or what possible love opportunities may you be ignoring that you need to look into, you need to actually consider at least. The universe wants to help you with that. So there's 3 potential things that the universe could be wanting to help us with. And for some, again, maybe more than one thing applies. And then we have an outcome here. 3 of Wands. 3 of Wands shows up when, like, after you do all this, you've done everything you possibly can toward manifesting this thing. you've put all the effort. Once you work on whatever this is, you've put all the effort in that you could possibly put in, and now you wait. This can also be suggestive of some sort of distance that is between you and the other person. But with it being the 3, it's like that distance is going to come to an end. You're headed toward the manifestation of the 4 of Wands, the 1111, or that ultimate, symbol of having manifested something successfully. And again, this will be a relationship that is mutually supportive and balanced and healthy. And along the way, while toward getting there, you will be supported by the universe and have the strength and the resources that you need to go through whatever the experiences are that you have to go through to reach that point. I hope you guys have enjoyed this and you find it helpful. Namaste.